Welcome to the office of Dr. Richard Levin and babiesbylevin.com. Dr. Richard Levin is America's first tubal microsurgeon and has been featured on Good Morning America, The Phil Donahue Show, People Magazine, ABC, CBS, and NBC nightly news programs, as well as other media from around the world. Patients travel from all over the United States and from every corner of the globe to seek his expertise. Dr. Levin offers one of the highest success rates for tubal ligation reversals at an affordable price. Join us to find out why so many women refer Dr. Levin to family and friends, and how he can help you achieve your dream of having a baby.
Let's talk about the issue of trying to conceive. Most women would like to go home and get pregnant the first month, but in reality, you only have about a 15% chance per month. Many of you would say to me, oh, I got pregnant the first cycle every time that I had a baby. That's generally not quite true. When you look at the statistics, it can take a normal person, a 20-year-old woman, a year or year and a half to conceive. Now, some women are actually quite lucky and they conceive the first month. But with only a 15% chance per cycle, it can take a length of time. There's a condition we call secondary infertility. That is 1 year of active sexual intercourse without conceiving. Now, that doesn't mean that that person is infertile or sterile. It just means that's the time that we start to think about doing some testing and doing some things to help move things along. So if you get to 1 year, then you need to shoot me an email and we'll chat about what we do at that point. There's an exception to that. If you're 40, 41, 42, a little bit older, then I want to work with you sooner. At 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I want you to email me. We'll start looking into things at that time. One of the first things that you should do if you have secondary infertility is to see what the sperm count on your significant other is. Now, many of you have not done this prior to getting the reversal done because he has already had 1 or more children. And you naturally assume that he's fertile. Well, he probably is, but there is a possibility that things have changed over time and that his count has gotten lower. It can get lower for a whole lot of different reasons, and so this is the time that we need to weed out what the various issues are, the things that are working correctly and the things that are maybe not working quite as we would like them to work. That said, we need to then get your significant other on board and get a sperm count. Now, sperm counts can generally be done at a local lab not terribly far from you. There are 2 national labs, one LabCorp and the other Quest Diagnostics, that generally can do this at a cost-effective level. I will send you an order once we talk about this on the phone, and you can arrange to have that done. Plotting your basal temperature each day is a very useful method. There is a temperature chart that you can download at cyclewatch.com, cyclewatch.com. Then I'm going to need to have you take your temperature every morning, starting on cycle day 1, the day you flow, throughout the whole month until you start your next period. Now, even then, I want you to continue using the same data file month after month. I'm going to want you to plot your temperature before you get out of bed, before you do anything, before you have intercourse, before you go to the bathroom. Now, many of you will forget to do that. You'll just get up and run to the bathroom. If you do that, it's not such a big deal. It's not my preferred way. But what I want you to do then is to take your temperature as soon as you remember it. I'd rather have a bad temperature than no temperature at all. So please do the best you can. Some of you actually work swing shifts and you say, well, I can't do it at the same time. Well, I'm not asking you to do it at the same time. I'm asking you to do it when you first wake up. And if you only sleep 4 hours, that's how it is. Plot your temperature at that time. And then once a month when you have your period, send me the data file that ends in .cwc that'll be on your computer someplace, and attach that to an ordinary email and say, hey doc, here's my temperature chart, what do you think about it? Let's go over the 6 icons that I want you to use with the software. There's a blue thermometer which adds to your basal body temperature chart, adds the temperature. The blue one clicks the temperature upward, and downward. Then there's another icon, the sex icon. On any given day that you have intercourse, I want you to mark it so that I know that you're timing it correctly. There are many things that I can learn from knowing when you do and do not have sex, so please do that each time. And then there's a menses icon, which denotes the days that you are having your period. If it's part of the period, that 3 to 7 days, even if one day you only spot, mark each and every one of those days as menses, not as spotting. On the other hand, then there's a spotting icon. I want you to do that if you have spotting during the cycle, not in that 3 to 7 day window of time, but during the month. Let's say you get out to cycle day 13 and you have some spotting. Click on the spotting so that I know that you spotted on that particular day. And the final icon is the LH positive and the LH negative icon. Those are the ones that if you're using an over-the-counter ovulation predictor kit that you mark. So if you test on, let's say, cycle day 12, 13, and 14, and on cycle day 14 you turn positive, you put the positive on 14, but you put a negative on 12 and 13 because you tested and it was in fact negative. I do not want you to do cervical position. I do not want you to do cervical mucus because some women do that and they're introducing their dirty fingers up the vagina and you can cause your cervical mucus to get infected. So even though that's part of the temperature chart, I don't want you to do that. Now, full instructions of how to use this chart are on the website. All of this information helps me, and the more information that you give me, the more likely I am to give you positive feedback and help that will enable you to get pregnant.